Welcome everyone in springtime. A time to take off our old winter coats. But it's a time of hesitation too. You think, I will take it on and take it off, take it on and take it off again, because is it already warm enough? And that's just how I felt. It was a process of letting go of my old limiting beliefs about my energy and, more importantly, about myself. So that eventually, after this whole 3/4 of a year of little steps, I started feeling like a spring blossom. Oh, the Woohoo! Okay, here we go. Welcome everyone in springtime. Do you hear the birds? That's just how I felt a year ago. I felt like spring. I never felt so connected with a season before as then. There were so many first times last spring that I did things. It was the first time that I really felt like I could do everything again, kinda. I sometimes still felt tired, but I felt that I could do everything that I wanted, although in 6 hours a day. But I could do everything. And that was wonderful. Two runners just saw me film and were like, hey, if you are filming or photographing anyway, would you like to take a picture of us? And it was such a nice interaction. I felt, since I am really living my life fully, I have more wonderful, kind, lovingly connections with others too. Because they see that, I guess. I'm so glad! Let's jump with me! Let's get dizzy! I'm so happy and so alive. Oh, hear the birds. Hear the river. No, I don't hear the river. I hear the cars, but I pretend it's the river. Just like spring, just like nature, I am re-blossoming, or feels like I'm blossoming for the first time actually. Like I am having my first spring too, because this is the first time, the first spring I can fully do whatever I want to do, and I can fully enjoy and be in the moment. Yahoo! In those 3 years in which I could not really do anything, of burnout and chronic fatigue syndrome, I learned step by step to ask for help and to ask my mother more and more to help me in my household, till at some point, I think a bit too late, she finally did everything in my household, and I'm so grateful for that. And when I did, it was a relief, like, I just need help now, and that's okay. So that's okay. Yeah, but now I was able to do it myself again, and that felt so wonderful. And then, instead of that, I saw my mother weekly when she would go clean my house while I would sleep inside my bed. Instead of that, now I could say, "Hey mama, would you like to go outside?" And we just went by bicycle and came to sit somewhere in the grass, and we walked in the grass with our bare feet, and I felt the freedom and the joy to experience something like that with my mother, whom I so much love. So this was very special, and I have a bit of material of that, not much, but a bit. Oh, mwah, I love my mother.
Moet je met je eigen zaak gedaan?
Tuurlijk.
Oh, paardenbloemetjes. Zijn jullie allemaal rondgeblazen door een elfjesachtige...
And I was able to go on more and more adventures, to actually go outside of the city. I remember this moment when I was really outside of the city and I could watch over the whole city. That felt so free. I felt so much freedom. But to be able to go everywhere, kinda. I felt like I could go everywhere again, and that was very freeing. Yeah! And then my first real adventure came by me really finding a train ticket on the street. It was like nature wanted to tell me, like, you can go on an adventure by train again now, you know, you can do that. So here we have a random ticket for you lying on the ground. Let's watch that. Welcome to Adventure Time with Aditi. I just jumped on a train, not on a riding train. And now I am somewhere between Maastricht and Sittard. Woohoo! Go freedom! Go Aditi! Kijk cool! I'm awesome. Wondertastic. That's the word. I found out that in Dutch I have this whole vocabulary of words I just came up with. I didn't even always realize. And I want to come up with words like that in English as well. Super duper, so that becomes super duper. And then I have to think about super trooper, but it's super duper. So yeah, that's one. Oepsie floepsie, jeetje met teetje. Oh my small tea. I'll guess it will just be a mix of Dutch and English. But I will put these words in, because they are me. Yoo-hoo! that definitely was making an entrance through a portal. A dramatic one. Not really the renewing one I was expecting and hoping for. Ow! It hurt! But that sometimes is the case, isn't it? Going through portals, going through things and phases in your life. It's never like going to Narnia. Why isn't it? I wanted you to be a portal to Narnia. Or something like that. Well, maybe it is, but then it just takes a bit longer and a bit of a harder time. And then even when you get into Narnia, you have to fight an evil witch. I mean, that's not the best thing either. So, conclusion, just go through the tough things. In this whole adventure, I could still feel very tired, and it would feel more sudden, and I would feel a bit shocked by it, like, oh, why am I tired now? Have I done something wrong? No, you haven't. You're just feeling tired. And I think before that, I was feeling tired most of the time, and then sometimes when I was going outside for that 1.5 hours usually, I was feeling energetic. And more, this flipped to being more energetic than tired all of the day. So then when I was tired, that would be a sudden thing instead of the excitement being a sudden thing. And that was something I had to get used to. It felt like that was wrong. But when I realized that I was more energetic than before, well, that was a relief. Then I could live with it. And just yawn a lot. I also learned that yawning is not necessarily a sign of tiredness, but just of your mind expanding, of things shifting, things happening, relaxation really. So when you relax, you yawn because things can shift. You can, make new connections in here. So yawn! Ah. Knowing I'm safe. I was able to do more and more, but I still just every day did 1.5 hours of going outside. That would also be just filming, very relaxed being outside. But I more and more thought, could I maybe do an afternoon of walking now, of going outside, like I used to do once upon a time? And then the opportunity came. A dear friend of mine and her mother, who is also a dear friend of mine and of my mother, invited my mother and me to go and walk together in the Ardennen, which is this wonderful mountain range just over the border in Belgium, but not easy to go by bike. it's I think 1.5 hours by car. So, and we went. And I did take my camera equipment with me, thinking, just in case, and maybe I'll just film us a little bit, And then in the beginning of our walk, Myriam asked like, hey, do you have a new song you maybe want to make a music video for? You could do that now. I'm so grateful she asked that question, because on myself I would not have had the nerve to ask that time of them, to ask them to wait while I am being filmed. But they felt totally fine with that. So I thought, well, I did make a song yesterday. Just the day before, a song had come out of me, Lieve ik, Dear Me. And I was like, okay, then this is it. And Surya said, okay, I would like to film you. Oh, I'm so grateful for them. It was such a magical day. This was really kind of an emotional moment for me, because I kind of began to see what I'm capable of, to stretch my own limits, the limits I thought I had and I didn't have anymore. Oh. Woohoo! Woohoo! And I told Myriam and my mother just a few weeks ago that I was going to make this video now, and if they were okay with it. And then my mother told me how much of a shock it also was for her to see me like that again. Well, again since I was a kid, and that's different. So kind of for the first time in this way, I started to dance again. I used to dance as a child. I wanted to become a dancer. I was on this pre-dance education program for a few years. But then I did stop. I felt that was the moment. The tiredness did help to make that decision, but I'm really standing behind that decision. It was the good decision, so that I realized how much I like music and I actually can do that. So that was okay, but now it was also good to realize I can still dance, and to also very physically realize what I'm actually capable of. I was so surprised of myself, of what I could do, of what my body could still do. And that I can still dance. Also that in that I don't have to feel like, yeah, I used to dance and I still like it. No, I can still dance. And I did, and they let me, and it was such a nice environment. We just walked and then we filmed a bit, and my mother and Myriam would just talk away a bit while Surya and me would be filming. It was a sign of stretching limits. Woohoo!
Nou is hij uit aan het rusten van zijn zoektocht. Jeetje.
Die blagen.
Ja, ik kan er niet zo mooi als jou hoor.
Oh, Surya. Oké.
Wat een mooi.
Dat is waar.
Oh, maar dat is toch sexy? Dat weet iedereen.
Dat vind ik echt de meest goede reactie.
Wacht. Zou je daar doorheen kunnen kijken? Nee. Oh. Wacht.
Ik heb dat dus net geprobeerd.
Zo, ja. Oké.
De volgende camera.
Kan niet anders.
was nice. And after that, something did shift. When I look back at all the material of this time, I see me dancing and stretching my body a lot to just find like, wow, I can do that. I'm not doing that anymore too much now. I will do that again sometimes because, well, it's nice to feel alive and to physically feel that too. To dance. And then you may find out you're capable of more than you thought. Just doing it step by step, and then it may not seem like things are going forward at all, and then suddenly you're looking back and you think, wait, I have taken some steps since I was back there. Yeah. So we're going to look at material of me now being very surprised of my own body, but also my own energy. And, well, however you are feeling right now, I wish you all the love and power and, yeah, take the steps easy, and then you'll be capable of more than you thought. All the love. Okay, I can rip you apart now. I have said everything I wanted. Shall I actually rip it? Okay, I will do that. Woo! No.